All right, guys, Adam Trigger here. It is Friday, and I'm here to get your weekend started off with a couple of Major League Baseball free picks. Yesterday, our only free pick cashed over in the Blue Jays Tigers game. Today, I've got two to talk to you about, and we're going to talk about a couple underdogs. So let's go to the Windy City for the first one. It's the Battle of Chicago, Cubs, White Sox. This one's over on the south side. And if you watch total bases, you should be making money on the White Sox, at least for the last couple weeks now. We did a show at the 90 game mark. The White Sox were 30-60 at that point. And I said I really felt like this team going forward was going to be closer to a 500 team than the team that's lost 2/3 of their games. Reason for that, new guys in the lineup. Some of the AAA guys have come up, and Will Venable, head coach, is treating this like a developmental team. Everyone's playing. Everyone's getting innings. They've got some great chemistry right now, and I felt like that would produce better results, and it has done that tenfold to this point. 7-6 since the 90-game mark. They've been underdogs in just about every one of those games. So had you just bet the White Sox straight up in all 13 games since we did that show, you're up significant because, again, they were underdogs in every one of those games. Some of those games, significant dogs. Since the All-Star break, they're 5-1, and not only have they won each game, but they've covered the +1.5 line in all 6 of them. So White Sox so far in the second half, 6-0 against the run line. And again, they've been an underdog in every game, so it's pretty much been attainable in every game, and that's going to be the case again here. So you once again have the ability to take White Sox +1.5, get the free head, get the run head start, and you don't really have to lay juice to do it. You're probably looking at -110 to grab White Sox +1.5 here. So that's the way I'm looking at this game. That's not going to change. It will be White Sox or pass for me pretty much every day until the market shifts where they're no longer value. Because right now, even with this great start to the second half, the White Sox are still value. And again, you can't really disagree with that here, in my opinion. The Cubs are a great team, but the Cubs are also coming into this series. They're going to be the road team, and they're going to go to the White Sox for what will probably be the biggest series at Rate Field the rest of the season. I don't know that the White Sox have a home series that's going to be sort of more in demand from a fan perspective. Should be some juice in the ballpark, should have, close to a full house for this one. That's been one of the things they haven't really got a ton of fan support this year. I don't think you're going to have any problem with that tonight. Any White Sox fan that wants to attend a game, or any season ticket holders, that they're probably going to go to this one. So I think you'll get a really good crowd on hand. And then, of course, you're going to have some Cubs fans as well. The other thing we've got here is Adrian Hauser has been tremendous. And he's a guy I talked about before he got to the White Sox. He was in the Rangers organization. He had a very good season going at Round Rock, and the Rangers, they had to let him go through waivers. They wanted to re-sign him to a new minor league deal, and the White Sox, just stepped in front and said, no, we're going to sign him. And he signed with the White Sox. So again, the Rangers, even on a AAA broadcast, the Round Rock coach came out and said, we hoped we were going to get him back. And, they didn't. The White Sox grabbed him, and the rest is history. So you've got a guy in Adrian Hauser who, just wanted to be on a team, just wanted his opportunity, got one at AAA. Now he's got an opportunity at the big league level with the White Sox, and now he might end up on a contender because there's trade interest for him as well. So again, a lot of incentive for him to keep doing what he's doing, which has been pretty simple. It's been throw 50% sinkers, throw them in locations that they're tough to square up, and that's all he's really done. He's throwing sinking fastballs. He'll mix a curveball in, but the interesting thing that he does that hitters haven't really seemed to be able to figure out is he throws a sinker early in the count as a fastball almost. So he doesn't really throw the four-seamer. The sinker is the pitch that he's just trying to get ahead with. He'll jam righty. He'll throw it inside to right-handed hitters. He'll throw it away from lefties. And he also throws it up in the zone. So it's like, it's not your typical sinker that is like, that's trying to get ground ball outs, even though he is getting a significant number of ground ball outs. The pitch that he'll throw down is the curveball. And so this combination of sinker curve really has guys fooled at this point. And teams haven't been able to square him up, especially teams that haven't seen him much, which in this case would be the Cubs. Now, the thing with with Hauser is like he's another one of these veteran guys, and we've talked about him a ton on these free pick videos, that just doesn't throw particularly hard, but he throws a lot of strikes, and he's really understands how to pitch. And these guys continue to have success. We've talked about it all week. The Chris Bassett's, Lopez on the A's was another one that's had success doing that. They're not lighting up the Kyle Hendricks came up in the other day in a free pick winner that we had here, I think on Monday. They're not lighting up the radar gun, but they have a great command, and they're just not getting hit hard because their pitch mix has been very good. Shota Imanaga on the other side is going to do that as well. I mean, he's not blowing anyone away with 91 on the fastball, but he has elite command of all of his other pitches. So there's no, you don't need me to tell you how good Imanaga is, but he's priced that way. The market has him priced as such. So, he's already priced at the top of the market, and that's why Cubs are as big of a favorite as they are here. The one area I think the White Sox could have some success is the fact that Imanaga is a fly ball pitcher, and he does only throw 91 on the fastball. If he misses with a fastball, the White Sox will have a chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That might be their only chance to score runs here, but you never know. You have a guy on base, maybe two guys on base, and you hit one out. Suddenly, that might be all the runs you need for the game. I'll just continue to go back to what I've said for the last 2 weeks. The White Sox continue to play good ball. They continue to find a way. They're feeding off of each other right now. And I would be willing to ride it until they give you a reason not to. 6-0 on the run line since the All-Star break. Let's call it White Sox run line again for a free pick here. I do have a paid play up. It is a 4% play. Major League Baseball. I have not played an MLB game since Tuesday. I've really kind of taken the last couple of days to reset in that regard, but I found winners elsewhere. 1-0 on Wednesday, hit my KBO play. 1-0 on Thursday, hit a AAA bet. So I'm coming out firing on Friday. I'm going to have a lot more action, and one of those is already locked in on my page, 4%er in Major League Baseball. So check that out on my page, wt.buzz/AT. Right back to another free pick. Let's go to Minnesota. It's Nationals, it's Twins, and I got to be honest, I don't understand the Zebby Matthews love, which is apparent in the market again here. I get it. The Nats should be an underdog, but I can't get down with the Twins being this big of a favorite against the Nationals team that really is built to have more success against right-handed pitching. So the thing with Matthews, and this is why I say I don't understand sort of the hype, the love, so on and so forth. Last year, he started the season in high A, okay? So he was in A ball, not single A, but he was in high A to start last year. Quickly promoted to double A. That was well-deserved. And he killed it in double A, so quickly promoted to triple A. But after about 4 starts at triple A, they called him up. You go back to last year and where the Twins were at, they did need some pitching. So I understand taking the shot to do that. What I don't understand is why they've been so adamant in forcing him up to the big league level this season, because he really hasn't been great at the MLB level. And I feel like with these pitchers, if on the rare occasion that it works out, yeah, they can stay up. But more often than not, when a guy flies through the minor leagues, especially like a guy like Matthews, 7th or 8th round pick, he was a college player at like a lesser college, I think like went to Western Carolina or something. Especially guys like that, like I feel like they tend to do better after they've had some time at AAA. And that's what we've seen play out this year. So Zebby Matthews this year at AAA has been tremendous. Zebby Matthews in the majors this year, not so good. ERA is over 5. The whip is like 1.6. Now, he has been hurt. He has worked around injury, so we have to give him a break there. But he just hasn't been great at the big league level, and that's played out since we've come back from the All-Star break. First start out of the break, St. Paul. He started at St. Paul. 4 scoreless innings, was very good. Most recent start was for the Twins against the Rockies, gets slammed by the worst team in the league. Granted, it was Coors Field, but still, not a very good outing. I think 5 runs in 4 innings against the Rockies. So I get, I have no problem in them wanting to sort of force the issue and have Matthews figure it out at the big league level, especially when they need a rotation spot filled, but it shouldn't be at this price. And so that's why I'm interested in the Nationals here. Nationals plus 1.5 would have been the ideal way to go, but unfortunately that's minus 150. And the reason that's minus 150 is because you have Mackenzie Gore on the mound for the Nats, their ace. So he's going to get some respect too. The thing is with Mackenzie Gore, the love is warranted. He has stuff that like borders on ace caliber stuff in this league. Really good breaking ball. I feel like this year specifically, he's really taken a step forward in terms of, kind of being that front end starter that the Nats thought they were trading for when they traded Juan Soto to the Padres, got Mackenzie Gore in return. So the better of these two pitchers is Gore. That's not even close in my opinion. And you have a Nationals lineup that, while this is not a great baseball team right now overall, they're definitely built to hit right-handed pitching. They set up better. There's a lot of left-handed bats in that lineup. They set up much better against right-handed pitching. So for me, it's got to be Nationals in some way, shape, or form. I would have loved the Nationals plus 1.5 if it was affordable. At minus 150, that's a little tough. You could go plus 1, except I don't think you get the right value for plus 1. So maybe you take a flyer with the Nats plus 150, or you spend the juice and play smaller and take the plus 1.5. But that's the way I'm seeing that one. I like the Nationals. I do think they find a way to at least keep it a 1-run game or potentially get to Matthews and pull the mild upset in Minnesota tonight. So that's 2 free picks for you. I said, you could call it White Sox, Nationals, both underdogs. If you're betting them straight, I kind of prefer both on the plus 1.5 run line. And if you're looking for my 4% client play, that's currently up at WagerTalk. Total basis, 5 days a week, 9 a.m. every single day. So we'll see you back on Monday morning. I'll have a couple more free picks up for tomorrow right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel for Saturday's card. But total basis will be back Monday morning. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Drop me a like, drop me a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you guys tomorrow.